Hey everyone, Healer Kimberly here. Nice to see you again today. Thank you for joining me here at the Easy to Be Great community. It's lovely that you join me every day for just a word. Today has been a little bit chaotic. I'm getting to things a little late, but there's just one thing about spirituality. It makes you feel good. And it's something you never want to put down. It's like a drug all by itself. You feel so darn good when you remain in your spiritual self that it's completely worth 15, 20, 30 minutes a day just to get a read and a workbook lesson in. So let's get right to it. It's Friday, the 20th of February, if I didn't say that already. And just like every other day, we're going to read one of the principles of miracles found in chapter 1, the meaning of miracles. Then we're going to move on to a section read and right into a workbook lesson. So let's go. So it's A Course in Miracles. We are in chapter 1, the meaning of miracles, section 1, principle of miracles. And today we are on number 5. Miracles are habits and should be involuntary. They should not be under conscious control. Consciously selected miracles can be misguided. And all that does is keep on going with the whole idea of miracles not supposed to be our focus, but the love which creates the miracle should always be our focus. Miracles are habits, it says. Isn't that funny that a miracle could be a habit? Think about that for a second. We have all kinds of habits that we have every day of our lives. We have a habit about how we wake up in the morning. We have a habit about how we get dressed in the morning. We have a habit about our coffee and our lunch selections and how we go about doing our lives every single day. They become habits. But can you honestly say that any of the habits that you have now is a miracle? So many of our habits are just function-driven, expectation-driven. But are any of the habits that you have now habits that enable you to create more love and more of a fertile ground for those miracles? See, we're looking to bring love into a habit rather than anything else, because everything else that is a miracle hangs off that original idea of love, that original habit of love. That really is beautiful if you think about it. Okay, let's go right into the read for today. We are still in chapter 1, and we are on section 6. And that's entitled The Illusion of Needs. You who want peace can find it only by complete forgiveness. No learning is acquired by anyone unless he wants to learn it and believes in some way that he needs it. While lack does not exist in the creation of God, it is very apparent in what you have made. It is, in fact, the essential difference between them. Lack implies that you would be better off in a state somehow different from the one you are in. Until the separation, which is the meaning of the fall, nothing was lacking. There were no needs at all. Needs arise only when you deprive yourself. You act according to the particular order of needs you establish. This, in turn, depends on your perception of what you are. A sense of separation from God is the only lack you really need correct. This sense of separation would never have arisen if you had not distorted your perception of truth and had thus perceived yourself as lacking. The idea of order of needs arose because, having made this fundamental error, you had already fragmented yourself into levels with different needs. As you integrate, you become one, and your needs become one accordingly. Unified needs lead to unified action because this produces a lack of conflict. The idea of orders of need, which follows from the original error that one can be separated from God, requires correction at its own level before the error of perceiving levels at all can be corrected. You cannot behave effectively while you function on different levels. However, while you do, correction must be introduced vertically from the bottom up. This is because you think you live in space where concepts such as up and down are meaningful. Ultimately, space is as meaningless as time. Both are merely beliefs. The real purpose of this world is to use it to correct your unbelief. You can never control the effects of fear yourself because you made fear and you believe in what you made. In attitude, then, though not in content, you resemble your Creator, who has perfect faith in His creations because He created them. Belief produces the acceptance of existence. That is why you can believe that no one else thinks is true. It is true for you because it was made by you. All aspects of fear are untrue because they do not exist at the creative level and therefore do not exist at all. To whatever extent you are willing to submit your beliefs to this test, to that extent are your perceptions corrected. In sorting out the false from the true, the miracle proceeds along these lines. Perfect love casts out fear. If fear exists, then there is not perfect love. But only perfect love exists if there is fear. It produces a state that does not exist. Believe this and you will be free. Only God can establish this solution, and this faith is His gift. It's all about what we allow our habits to be. Are our habits our truth? Is our integrity, our love, our desire to be in alignment with the Most High Creator, is that our truth? Or is that our pretend truth? Is that our habit? Or is that our stated habit? There's a difference. Living authentically in a spiritual state is apparent and obvious, although many people would misunderstand what that really is in a world that's so full of half-truths, of so many people pretending to have habit of love, pretending to have a habit of being in connection with the Most High Creator, that those of us who are steadfast, really and truly in our heart of hearts, it seems like maybe we go through issues or maybe there's problems, but really, no matter what it looks like to the outside world, it is true freedom because love is freedom. I've been surrounded with people with habits, really bad habits, most of my life, in and out. And if there's one thing that I see repetitively, and it's a people's fear of love. Whether they see it on a person or they think about it for themselves, for relationships or work environments or whatever, their whole idea of love feels so far away from them that when they see other people who are genuinely love, they're afraid of them. Then they misassign the spirituality. They condemn people for their way of being only because it's different from their own. But not so much because it's different from their own, but because they feel like they can't get it. When you live in a spirit of love and in connection with the Most High Creator, it doesn't mean that everything's going to go exactly correct, like everyone would expect a supreme spiritual being to have. Because it's still so early in the stages of our world coming into an acceptance of exactly who they are according to the Most High. For now, having the habit of love, although it is the most freeing, it might appear to look like it's not. It's only from the many layers of fear that people have developed, which makes people like me and you even stronger in our faith, because we know that it's by our remaining strong in our faith, strong in our habit of love, that we can help anyone else. We're not here to shove it down people's throats. We're here to show them how to do it. even through the trial and the error, even through what looks to be hardships. We stand tall and proud because love is natural. Love is a miracle. Love is a miracle mindset. Let's see what the workbook lesson is today. Now, we went from identifying that we don't really understand what anything is for and the fact that we've assigned every bit of meaning to everything that we use. Then we went into realizing that our thoughts about things are what's creating the reality of things, just like I was speaking about even our thoughts about our habits just now. And now today we're in lesson 5 and it says, I am never upset for the reason I think. So now we've gone from taking our what's tangible into our thinking. And now we're realizing that all of our thinking is not based on the habit of love. It's based on the habit of other thinking. Let's see what it says. I am never upset for the reason I think. This idea, like the preceding one, can be used with any person, situation, or event you think is causing you pain. Apply it specifically to whatever you believe is the cause of your upset, using the description of the feeling in whatever term seems accurate to you. The upset may seem to be fear, worry, depression, anxiety, anger, hatred, jealousy, or any number of forms, all of which will be perceived as different. This is not true. However, until you learn that form does not matter, each form becomes a proper subject for the exercises for the day. Applying the same idea to each of them separately is the first step in ultimately recognizing they are all the same. When using the idea for today for a specific perceived cause of an upset in any form, use both the name of the form in which you see the upset and the cause which you ascribe to it. For example, I am not angry at blank for the reason I think. I am not afraid of blank for the reason I think. But again, this should not be substituted for practice periods in which you first search your mind for sources of upset in which you believe and forms of upset which you think result. In these exercises, more than in the preceding ones, you may find it hard to be indiscriminate and to avoid giving greater weight to some subjects than to others. It might help to precede the exercises with the statement, there are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. Then examine your mind for whatever is distressing you, regardless of how much or how little you think it is doing so. You may also find yourself less willing to apply today's ideas to some perceived sources of upset than to others. If this occurs, then think first of this. I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purpose of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. Then search your mind for no more than a minute or so, and try to identify a number of different forms of upset that are disturbing you, regardless of the relative importance you may give them. Apply the idea for today to each of them, using the name of both the source of the upset as you perceive it and of the feeling as you experience. Further examples are, I am not worried about blank for the reason I think. I am not depressed about blank for the reason I think. 3 or 4 times during the day is enough. So now we're assigning our lack of understanding to our own thinking. I have a good one. Today the reason why I'm delayed is because I had something upsetting happen. Actually, it's been something upsetting that's been going on for quite some time. And, I've been having to ride this roller coaster up and down, up and down, up and down, because of the misperception that others have about spirituality, right? But I recognize, although I am appreciative of what I've experienced on one hand. I also have to understand that not all situations are healthy for me based on what I don't know. That feeling deep inside of my soul that makes me feel like something's wrong is something that I really listen to. That's part of my connection with the Most High Creator. But rather than assigning specific ideas of why I'm unhappy with X, Y, and Z, it's easier and better for me to say, I'm not upset because of the reason I think. It's something that's different. Ordinarily, I might have assigned it to something external, but now I have the ability to say, I know that this is coming from a place of fear for someone else. That fear is their own. I didn't particularly experience it. It really has nothing to do with me, so therefore, I really don't know anything about it. I'm not upset about it for me. They didn't really do anything to me, even if something was done towards me. They were really doing it to themselves. So therefore, I really can't assign any particular purpose of feeling badly about it to that particular person. Whatever the situation is, it is their own. And the best thing I can do is say, you know what, I don't know why it's happening on their side. But for me, I know I'm not mad about it because of what I might ordinarily think I'm mad about it for. It's not my burden. It only remains my burden if I hang on to something that I feel that I'm upset about it for. You know what I mean? So it's so freeing to let go of why you're upset. Why you're upset, too, might have something to do with something deeper inside of you. And if you assign it to a particular thing, then we miss the lesson altogether. Just like the chair. If we assign the chair, the idea of a chair, and only a chair, we're never allowing the full miracle of what the chair could be to approach us, to be part of us. Just like if we're assigning anger or hate or misunderstanding to a person or a situation, we never can gain the full experience that was meant for us, because the Most High Creator does everything for everyone involved in the most positive sense. But if we hang on to its negativity, we can never, ever evolve out of that negative mindset and onboard the goodness of the educational experience that was meant for us. Capiche? I love you guys. And I'll be back again tomorrow.